Captain Elias Ward stood at the edge of the viewing deck aboard the ISS Honorbound, his sharp gray eyes scanning the holographic data drifting in the air. A faint tremor of unease curled in his gut as he read the communiqué blinking in red. Distress beacon, civilian transport Lyriel Donsong, status. Evading pursuit passengers. 78 Minari children, 1 Guardian-class defender. Elias grimaced. The Minari, peaceful plant-like aliens from the Lyrian expanse, had been caught in the crossfire of a brutal civil war among their system's empires. The children aboard that ship were likely the only survivors of an evacuation effort gone terribly wrong. "Exo Valen," Elias called, turning to his second-in-command. "Get me visual contact with the Lyriel Donsong, and spin up combat readiness. I have a feeling someone's hunting those kids." The holographic projector shimmered, revealing a battered silver vessel limping through the stars, its shields flickering weakly. Behind it, 2 sleek and angular ships, aggressors. "They're from the Varkal Enclave," Valen muttered. "Privateers. Paid to erase witnesses." "Not while I'm breathing," Elias growled. "Full burn. Get between them and the Donsong. Lock missiles and prep the Gauss cannons." As the Honorbound rocketed forward, Elias felt that old familiar calm settle over him. Combat was chaos, but in chaos he found purpose. The clash among stars. The first Varkal ship peeled off to intercept, its ion drives flaring bright. The second veered to flank. Elias didn't flinch. "Firing solution now," he ordered. The Honorbound's main cannon roared to life. A kinetic slug punched through the Varkal ship's shields and tore its engine apart. Flames and oxygen spilled like a comet's tail. The second ship blinked, hesitated, and that was enough. Elias issued one more order. "Target neutralized. Helm match speed with the Donsong. Prepare to dock." As their ships linked by a magnetic tether, Elias pulled on his helmet and stepped into the decontamination chamber. The air hissed, the door unsealed, and then he was aboard the Lyriel Donsong. The scene struck him speechless. Dozens of small, luminous beings clustered around the corridors. Tiny Minari children, their petal-like ears twitching, bioluminescent skin glowing in patterns of anxiety. They whispered among themselves, some shivering, some hugging one another. At the center stood a tall figure, Minari, but unlike the others. Her bioluminescence shimmered in deep golds and calming blues, and she wore crystalline armor etched with protective glyphs. She stepped forward with fluid grace. "You are human." Her voice was melodic, like wind in reeds, but beneath it iron. "Captain Elias Ward, United Terran Fleet," he replied. "You called for help." "We answered." She bowed, but her eyes, lavender glowing, never left his. "I am Soraya, Guardian-class defender of the Minari. And I owe you a debt, Captain. The journey to safe harbor." With the Donsong docked in the Honorbound's belly hangar, Elias offered the Minari passage to Terra's nearest sanctuary station. The journey would take 4 days through unstable space, and even then more trouble might follow. Soraya proved as protective as her title promised. She rarely left the children's side. She slept only in brief meditative trances, and trained constantly in the cargo bay with her twin crescent blades. Elias watched her from afar at first, intrigued. There was something arresting about her, elegance wrapped in lethality. Not just a warrior but a caregiver. Perfect shield. Their first real conversation happened over tea in the officers' lounge, 2 days into the journey. "You don't trust humans," Elias noted bluntly. She tilted her head. "Most species who offer help come expecting payment. Or obedience. You demanded neither. I'm not here for your gratitude, he said. But I am curious. Why were you alone with all those children? Soraya looked away, her voice softening. The elders stayed behind to draw fire. I was the only guardian who reached the evac point. I was bred for war, but not ready for that kind of loss. Elias leaned back. No one ever is. A quiet understanding passed between them. Storm on the horizon. On the fourth day, as the sanctuary station loomed a few light hours ahead, a warning blared across the Honorbound's bridge. Unknown vessel inbound, XO Valen reported. Massive energy spike. It's a Varkal Dreadclaw. That's a full siege-class warship. They knew our trajectory, Elias muttered. They want to wipe out any survivors and send a message. Soraya joined them on the bridge, her expression unreadable. If they breach our hull, they will take the children. You must stop them. I plan to, Elias said. But the Dreadclaw was enormous. More guns, more shields, and hundreds of soldiers. The Honorbound couldn't win in a straight fight. So Elias decided not to fight fair. The last stand of the Honorbound. As the Dreadclaw closed in, Elias activated a maneuver he'd never used outside a simulator. Run the Havoc protocol, he said. Valen paled. That'll leave us dead in the water. It'll also scramble their targeting long enough for the Dawnsong to escape. Elias turned to Soraya. You'll have to take the kids in your ship and get them to the station. I'll draw their fire. Soraya stepped close, furious. You'd die for us. He met her gaze. If I don't, the kids die. That's not acceptable. A long moment passed. Then she reached up and touched his chest. Her hand was warm, gentle yet trembling. You are strange, she whispered. So fragile, yet unbreakable. He offered a grim smile. It's a human thing. The Havoc protocol flared. The Honorbound surged forward, its entire core radiating false signatures, confusing the Dreadclaw's sensors. Missiles flew wildly. The Dreadclaw roared its frustration. Meanwhile, the Lyriel Dawnsong peeled away in stealth mode, carrying its precious cargo toward the station. In the bridge, systems exploded. Elias was thrown against the rail. Sparks rained from above. Still he stood. Bring us about. Fire everything we have. The Honorbound lit up like a supernova. Gauss rounds, rail lances, EMP bursts. Every weapon fired in a last defiant salvo. The Dreadclaw took the brunt, its shields buckling. But then impact. Explosions tore through the Honorbound. Elias felt himself hurled backward, the world going white. Human heart still beating. He awoke in a sterile medical bay. One not aboard the Honorbound. His lungs ached, ribs broken, burns across his side. A familiar face leaned over him. Soraya. Her armor was gone, replaced by soft robes of silver and green. Her expression was unreadable. You nearly died, she said. Elias rasped. Nearly doesn't count. The children are safe. The station received us. A Terran fleet arrived shortly after. The Dreadclaw was destroyed. He blinked. How long? 3 days. She hesitated. I stayed by your side. Elias smiled weakly. You still don't trust humans. She stared at him a long time. Then slowly she leaned down, pressed her forehead to his. In my culture, she whispered, this is a vow, a promise of life and heart. His breath caught. You sure you want to make that vow, with a broken old human? She smiled. You are not broken, Elias Ward. You are what saved us all. Epilogue. A guardian and a captain. Months later, the Terran Minoria Accord was signed. Refugees were granted full sanctuary. Guardian-class protectors were welcomed into joint operations.